Hello, everybody. Boy, it popped up fast. I wasn't quite ready for it. So, I'm back. Like I said in the little intro, like a bad habit, I am back. So, hello, and let's see all who's on here. Oh, Susan, you sweetheart. I kind of kept this quiet because I wasn't sure if you were ready today, and I wanted to respect you and Rick so much. So, Annette Parsons is here, and Sonia's here. Jody, oh, it's so good to see you. Marcia, Susan, Sonia. I gotta tell you, this is so funny. Kathleen is here. Oh, Nikki's here. Kathy Klein. Hello, Kathy. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. Oh, Susan, I just love you to bits. Linda's here. Oh, this is great. I got to tell you, before I went in for my surgery, I thought, okay, I'll take off the first Sunday, but the second Sunday, I'm going to be back. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. No, it was, I couldn't handle it. I really couldn't. Let me get I take 3 weeks off and I have no idea what I'm doing. But this surgery took more out of me than I thought. And I realized, hi, Michelle. I realized, yes, I'm 64 years old, and you don't just bounce back when you're 64 years old. So anyway, but I'm so glad to be here. I had a wonderful surgeon, and if you're tuning in for the first time, I had my right kidney removed because it had a big tumor that moved in. And thank goodness we took it out when we did, because it was still very localized. It hadn't spread. And, I've got a lot more things to do, a lot more living to still do. So I'm very glad they were able to take it out. But my daughter, Katie, made me another one. So I still have 2 kidneys. And my left kidney is doing a wonderful job. So I'm going to take really good care of Lefty and keep her around for quite a while. But I tell you what, having a kidney removed, oh, hello, Laura Eston, you're a diabetes dietitian. I have type 2 diabetes too. So I'm sure you could give me some very good hints. But anyway, I have 1 good kidney. It's working great, and I'm going to take good care of it. So we'll see how long I last today. I had to put on extra makeup. I'm a little pale. After you've had big major surgery, you look I looked my age, that's for sure. But anyway, boy, they opened me up right down the center. It's about 12 inches long, and they did a great job. He said, thank goodness they didn't try to do it laparoscopically. I've had 3 cesareans, an appendectomy, a cholecystectomy, which gallbladder removal, and a tubal ligation. He said, oh my goodness. I mean, it must have looked like Luray Caverns in there, because I had stalactites and stalagmites everywhere. So he said, there's no way they could have done it laparoscopically. So it was worth it, even though it's a much harder recovery. But I stayed in the hospital 4 days. They took very good care of me, and I did laps around the hall. And I realize now that when I did my laps around the hall, I had a hospital gown on. And I'm not sure it closed good enough in the back, but I didn't care. The doctor told me to make some laps around the unit. That's what I did. So I probably showed everybody a little bit from behind. And you know what? That's okay. I was alive. I was walking. Good enough. So I apologize to anybody who might have seen more than they wanted to. But anyway, it's so good. Bonnie is here. Michelle is here. It is so good to see. Vicki Robles is here. Lisa Capon is here. That's exciting. So it is so good to see all of you. And I love this. My daughter sent me this too. It's got a little thermometer. But my kidney, I put it on an elastic string and I wore this the whole time in the hospital. And this what got the best attention of anything. So thank you to my Katie. And now while I'm sitting here with you, I want to send a shout out to my daughter, Becky. This week is her 42nd birthday, which means I had her as a mere child. Anyway, but happy birthday, Becky. We're so excited for you. So anyway, bringing up the back. So, Mccollum, hello from the UK. Oh, my favorite place. I love the UK. Mark he knows that I would pack a bag and move to England in a heartbeat. He keeps trying to remind me how much rain they get. And, I do get a little depressed with too much rain, but man, is it beautiful over there. So I just got through watching Father Brown last night. And, I have to get my English fix. And I also, Lynn, hi. And I also have been watching EastEnders since the episodes dating back to 1986. I don't miss them. I love each week when they come on. So, yes, I'm an Anglophile. So, watch out. If you're from England, I'll glom onto you and ask you a bunch of questions. So, well, now that I'm back, let's have a little knees up and get busy talking about what I've been doing. Knees up is slang for like a little party. Go sit at the pub and put your knees up and knock back a couple. So it is so good. Yes, EastEnders. Oh, sometimes some English people feel about EastEnders how we used to feel about Dallas. And so it doesn't always go over good. But I suspect that a whole lot more Englanders watch it on the sly than would admit. So anyway, okay, I have a bunch of fun things to show you. One thing is I received in a Get Well package this skein of sari silk. And this sari silk has been twisted into like a yarn. The colors are amazing. So thank you, Miss Cheryl with an S. And I'll show you what I made with it. So here is a boho bead that I made with it. And I got those new charms, so I'm very excited to use them. So I used miscellaneous beads, and under here is you use a plastic straw, and then you glue and cover it with some chiffon, some decorative yarns, and the turquoise blue is the sari yarn. So I've only made one so far, but I'm getting back to it. And another thing I want to use the sari yarn is I want to make some more of these. And I call them little prayer pins. I'd like to make some of these because they're great to keep around as a little gift. And it's just a way to show you're thinking about somebody. And you take little scraps and bits and bobs and little beads and just anything pretty. And you make a little pin that someone can wear and send it to them. Just let them know you were thinking about them. Just a little gift to kind of. And I'm hoping Linda Mccollum is an amazing quilter, and she is making these great little ornaments, and you make them out of scraps and bits and bobs, buttons and yarns, and it looks like such a fun project, especially sit around in the evening and make. So I'm trying to talk to her, figure out how we can do it. I have pictures. When I show you your pictures today, you will get to see them. But I think you'll all love it because it's something you can sit around and do in the evening. And then you have gifts for friends, especially quilting friends. They love this stuff. And it reminds me of little ornaments made out of pieces of a crazy quilt. And maybe that's the best way. But when I saw, she sent me a picture, I went, whoa. So we're hoping that she can maybe figure out how to make a video to send to me that I can put on, or maybe she can do a tutorial. We'll work it out. She and I will work it out. But when I see talent like that and something I know you would love, then so wait to see. In a little while, about a half an hour, I'll show you the photos. I've got great photos. Diana Wright has been so busy. There's some great things. Now, let's see what I was going to talk about. I made a purchase this week. Well, Miss Bonnie and Miss Cheryl Hogan had sent me a little sweet thing, which they shouldn't have done, but they sent me something sweet for my birthday. They sent me a gift certificate to Pineapple Fabrics. Well, I've been watching and watching. You know, Miss Bonnie, she's taken them up on one of their 4 pounds of fabric deals, where you get 4 fabric for what works out about less than $3 a yard. And they are nice fabrics. So I think she got batiks. I mean, that is such a deal. Well, I've been watching my Pineapple Fabrics because you know I love Pineapple Fabric. And a good news is they, at their warehouse here, they opened up a satellite shop. So on certain days of the week, I'm not sure it's every day. I think it's certain days. You'd have to check. But they have now made a permanent little area where they have a shop. So, you know, with COVID, they couldn't do their big sales anymore. And I'm tickled they figured out something. I wrote to them when I put this order in and said, sorry, I'm still recovering, but boy, if I could be there for the grand opening day was the 22nd. So I wished him well and said, I wish I could be there to film it, but I will be back. So here's a card I got from them. Isn't that sweet? And let's see. And here is, you can get signed up for their newsletter because, man, they will send out good deals like you can't believe. So, and I will, after this is over, I will put this information down below. So, okay. So you want to see what I got? I'm going to take it apart so you can see. I haven't even done that yet. Because I kind of like you to feel like you're with me when I get these. So I wanted to thank my 2 gift givers. Of course, they had a Jenny Buyer on sale, so I had to put a little extra in, but look at this. Is called Fiore, and it is beautiful fabric. I wish that you could see the true intensity of this color. So this is all gold embossed, and you know me, I love my bling. So, but I love this, and I figured these are all. They have what's called their bonus fat quarter. And instead of being, 18 by 18, it's 22 by 22. So these are nice. And I got this whole pack of them. I'll have to count up how many I have for $29, which is pretty good. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Be still my heart, let me tell you. And I love the number of neutrals they give you. But so then I wanted to get some yardage for like borders and stuff. And it was hard to pick out which one I wanted to get borders of. I'll show you in just a moment and you can see what you think. But do you remember my favorite colors? My favorite color is blue. And my second favorite, probably turquoise. But I love blues. I always have loved blues. But isn't this fabric gorgeous? And look, I love how companies have gotten so creative with showing you what dye colors they have. I love it. I save my selvages. One day I'm going to do something with them. But for right now, I saved myself at this. Look at this one. Isn't that gorgeous? So I have no idea what quilt I'm going to make with this. But boy, oh boy. Okay, so let me count how many fat quarter or bonus quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bonus quarters for $29. So thank you, Pineapple Fabrics. Oh, here.
She's back.
Yep. And you know what? I want to thank this man. He has had to give me an he's had to give me an injection at 2 p.m. every day. And he's had to make my meals and take care of me. The first week, I could hardly do a thing. I know he got tired of it. And it was so funny. He's had to give me injections of a blood thinner. And down in my lower stomach. And I just I don't like being, I came home from the hospital and I thought, I'm tired of being messed with. One day I heard his alarm go off and I burst into tears. And then I thought, Deb, don't do that to him. He's doing the best he can. He can't stand needles. He hates needles. And every day he has to inject me in my stomach. So the poor guy, I really quick stopped crying and kind of went, okay. But I've tried to be, Mark's the best. I cannot tell you. He is the best. I don't know where I would have been without him. And my daughters will tell you they are so grateful that I have him because they haven't had to worry about Mama. They knew Mama was in good hands. So anyway, that was nice. He came down to say hi. He knows I have been wanting to get back on here, but I just couldn't. It was just too tiring. So now back to, and just to tell you, we're a second time around couple. And when I had my gallbladder removed, so I wouldn't be away from my kids, I had it the old-fashioned way. So it was a big slash to the side of me. But I thought, I was married. I wouldn't have to be dating again. So it's okay. Well, now I have an incision right down the middle. So you could connect the dots on my tummy. It's just so sexy. So what can you do? All right. Oh, you see that? That's an owl baggy. Oh, I can't wait to show you that. Don't let me forget. So I ordered an extra yard of this fabric. I don't think that's a big surprise to you. And I ordered this fabric. So these are what I'm going to use for borders and a constant. And then I told you they had, I don't know if it's pronounced Mccollum or Mccollum, but a Jenny Buyer batik. I had to get a yard of that. I mean, you know me and my Jenny. So that is my Pineapple Fabrics. Oh, hold on. I have to move my fabric out of the way because I've got our don't forget to vote corner over here. So got to move that out of the way there. All right. So that's what it felt. So I hadn't bought fabric for a while. And it was kind of exciting. And thank goodness my birthday presents, because they got me that fabric. So thank you so much. So, all right. Remember the last time I was with you? Remember the last y'all look at Nikki and Susan, so sweet. Yeah, and I will show you that bag. Oh, yeah, I did. Boy, Nikki, you don't miss a thing. I bought you that book because I want to show you what I'm reading. In fact, I'll show you right now since you asked. Because I like if I get something interesting, I saw this advertised in some of my emails, and I love Lisa Jewell. She's English, and I just love the way she writes. I love the way she describes England, and she's a mystery writer, but she's really good. She gets you hooked in. I don't know how exactly she does it, but she hooks you in right from the beginning. And this book has gotten me through a lot of rough times in this recovery. So, and, I'm on a budget. So I saw this advertised in some of the emails over where the ads were. And I'm trying to let me see. I went, I think, on eBay. And this one came from Goodwill of southwestern Pennsylvania. And I got this for $5, including shipping, $5.99. So that's my kind of deal. And I have an e-reader, which I love because it has a lighted screen and I can read it when Mark's sleeping. But I said, for my recovery, I want a book I can hold on to. That, there's something about the smell of a book and the touch. But this is so good. I've read not quite half of it, and I have no idea where she's going with this storyline. So anyway, and she's got another brand new one out. But Lisa Jewell, and if you're like me and on a budget, look to see if you can find a used bookseller. So anyway, it's a really good book. All right. I love mysteries. That's what I always want to read. Sometimes I like reading like interesting family dynamic books. And I love anything to do with the South and Low Country and all that. So, but last time I was with you, which was September 27th, do you know that was just mere hours before my surgery? I had to be at the hospital at 5:45. So 12 hours before I had to be at the hospital, I was on here saying hi to y'all. But I didn't want to tell, I don't know who's watching and listening, and I didn't want to tell anybody when I was having my surgery. But I was working on this. And I just wanted to show you, after I was done with the live stream with you, I was really anxious to finish it. And it's not quite finished, but it's a lot further along. And I wanted to show you how I've done the beginning of the trapunto, because I love trapunto. I love what it does to define a quilt. And I wanted to show you that I took pieces of scrap batting and put them together, because I don't waste anything if I can help it. See all these scraps? So I laid them on the top. Then I did the zigzag stitch. And then I'm going to go along here and cut off the excess batting. And that way, when I do put this on a full sheet of batting and backing to do the quilting, it will really stand out. And I think with this stem, I'm going to open it up and put a thin piece of batting down that, because I love giving things dimension. Now, the flowers and the leaves I've put on so far, I just fuse them on. But my other favorite thing to do is I'm going to make some 3-dimensional leaves. That is so easy to do. You take a piece of fusible, you cut out the leaf shape, you glue it in between 2 fabrics. You iron it between 2 fabrics, and then you cut out around the edge. If you want to, you can zigzag around the edge of the leaves, or you can use fray check. And let me tell you, my fray check is my best friend. And I'm going to tell you another thing in a moment. Guess I was making curtains for my daughter's kitchen. I made a mistake, but fray check bailed me out. But anyway, So I just wanted to show you how easily I did the trapunto and with just scraps. And why waste those scraps? Because it doesn't matter. I mean, this is just a cute little Halloween thing. It's going to be a little wall hanging when it's done. In fact, I took it up that day and hung it upstairs, and I have enjoyed it so much. So I'll go around here, cut off the excess, and then that way, when I put another batting across the whole thing, and then when I do the backing and I stitch, I'll do tracing, stitching, it'll pop right out. So that's what I mean when I talk about trapunto. It's one of the methods of trapunto. So I just wanted to show you that. I've got more leaves to put on it. The rest of the leaves are going to be 3-dimensional. Like I said, I'll put fusing in between 2 pieces of fabric. And if you want, think of using a fabric shaper, a fabric stiffener, or take a couple stitches and get the leaf to kind of have a crinkle or a curved look. You can also put in a little, this is the easiest. Just take a piece of pipe cleaner. And when you're sewing the leaf, don't sew over the pipe cleaner, but put a piece of pipe cleaner in and then bend that and it'll hold the shape. So that's what's going to be on the rest of it. But I love quilts that people want to come up and touch. And you know what? I tell them go ahead and touch because that's part of it. Quilting is visual, tactile, as many senses as you can bring in. It's a good thing. So, okay. I've shown you the sari fiber, the boho bead, the stuff I got from Pineapple Fabrics. Oh, okay. What have I mostly done with my 4 weeks since surgery? I'll show you. I have been so tired. I sleep whenever I can. And hi, Alexis. Take care, Annette. So good to see you, sweetheart. I'll be back next week. Like I told my daughters, you can't get rid of me that easily. So, but mostly I have slept and watched TV. Little bit of whining. Tried not to do too much. Boy, let me tell you something. I've been a little short-tempered. I hate to admit that. But Mark would have something on and the sound of it just drove me nuts. The smell of something drove me nuts. It wasn't like me. And do you know how many times I've had to say I'm sorry the last 4 weeks? But mostly what I have done is this. Because when I laid out projects, I laid out about 8 or 9 projects to do when I was recovering. And I knew I had some mindless things and others that took extra concentration. Well, this is what I have spent most of my time doing because it is so easy to roll paper beads. And Mark has been, I did it when we talked on Jitsi. And Mark has been bringing me the mail every day. And you wouldn't believe how many pretty colors are in the mail. Like this. My daughter sent me a beautiful card, and this was the envelope. Then, let me see if I can find it. The inside of the envelope had a strip. I've got some in my pocket. Hold on. So, hi, it is so good to see you, Alexis. I'm doing pretty good. You know what? Oh, I forgot to bring that down, Michelle. Because guess what, Michelle? There's Michelle's envelope. She sent me a card. I just got it the other day, and the yellow was so pretty. I thought, I've got to make some with Michelle's envelope. And Michelle sent me a block. I'm going to have to show you next week, guys. But anyway, my daughter's card had a metallic strip inside the thing. So I even made some metallic beads. But boy, with the election underway, I have had all kinds of postcards with election stuff. So anyway, I've still got a lot of work to do on these, but some of them, let me see if I can find some of my pink ones. Oh my gosh, the pink ones came out so charming. And Some are barrel beads. Most are just straight beads. But, oh my gosh, how sweet. So I still have to trim them with scissors, and then I sand the ends, and then I'll put several coats of a glaze. And then I don't know what I'll do with them. Sometimes I make scissor fobs or a necklace if I see something specific. I might donate some to schools because kids could make their own necklaces as a special treat. But anyway, but this is all junk mail. I did not buy any of this. In fact, this is the inside of safety envelopes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that if you have a bill they want you to mail and they have this pattern inside the envelope. So a lot of this, I love these. It says, please recycle this envelope. Well, I did. So anyway, but thank you. And just know that if you send me anything at all interesting, I will try to preserve it. And boy, hold on. Let me get all these beads. But as you can see, it doesn't take up any time. And a little white glue, and you can use a crochet hook or an official bead winder. And very inexpensive hobby. You just have to make sure you don't hoard too many junk mails because, oh my goodness, we get so much junk mail. So here we go. But anyway, I've had a lot of fun making these, and it gives me a chance to feel like I'm doing something without, look at this, has got a pretty subtle color. I love it. But it gives me a chance to do something without being too strenuous. And when I started making that boho bead, what did I do with it now? Oh, well, I must have moved it out of the way. Yeah, here it is. I started to make this boho bead, and just the activity of it made me hugely nauseous. And so I was like, okay, I'm done making boho beads for now. So then I thought I would show you something that did not work out. I took a class in this, and I forget now where I took the class. Lovely teacher, someone who loves doing applique. I love doing applique, but not as much as this teacher loved doing it. I mean, for her, that was her passion. So, remember I talked to y'all the other day about reverse applique? Reverse applique, and there's Hawaiian applique, is where you have 2 layers of fabric. You figure out your design, and you cut the top fabric and tuck it under so that the back fabric shows through. So that's why it's called reverse applique. And so here is this class I was taking that I learned to take. And I thought this would be something good to work on during my recovery. I only need 1 color silk thread and a needle and little scissors. And that's got to be simple, right? Well, ladies, I hate this. I hate it. And hate is a very strong word. But see, it's like a little village setting around a circle. Let me tell you why I hate it. Okay? I hate it because I made a bad choice of fabrics. I chose the fabric before I really thought about it. I grabbed it out of my stash kind of last minute. The problem is if you do a batik for the pattern underneath, you lose the pattern because of all the swirls of batik. So if you ever want to do a reverse applique, use something more muted. Use a tone-on-tone, solids, a blender, something without a striking pattern. I chose this because of the colors, but the work that's involved. Oh my gosh. Let me show you. Like, see these houses? Whoops, let me get it right. These houses are supposed, hold on. These houses are supposed to be like on a mountain top. Okay, let me get it. Boy, am I out of practice. Okay, let me get this. This is supposed to be a big tree and then houses on a mountain. And all those little windows, you have to make your nips and then tuck it under and then stitch it without it being seen. So it's a lot of work, And just trying to draw the pattern on is a lot of work. You do it in an 1/8 segment. So you fold the 2 pieces of fabric, you fold them in half and in half again. Whoops. In half like this. Then you fold them in half again. And then you fold it from at a diagonal. Okay? And then you draw that part of the pattern. See where I drew it on? Then you nip it and then you tuck it under. And you have to be very, very careful to keep the pattern lined up and flat. And yeah, I think you're exact. Although, you know what, Susan? Even if the batik was the background, like the blue, if I changed the purple and blue, even if I did that, I don't think I'd be happy with it, because anywhere there's a big pattern, it interrupts the edges. And the edges are the beauty of a quilt like this. So this is the problem. And so I'm trying to think of what to do with this. And the good thing is the purple batik is still good. It hasn't been cut into. So I could just pull off the blue and then use the purple for something. And see, I thought the blue would look like sky too. And I don't know. Although you're right, the sky is the purple stuff. So it's just really, really, really tricky. But anyway, I've gotten this much done. But let me hold it up one more time. Is anyone out there, or any of you, I mean, does this look like something you might enjoy? I mean, you know, I might not like it, but some of you might. But it's kind of busy for my eyes. But anyway. But is it anything any of you go, I like this? So anyway, but you can see where I did tiny little stitches to stitch it down. Susan, if I mail this to you, would you like to have it and finish it? And there's no timeline on finishing it. It's got your purple in it. So let me tell you why I'm doing this today. I talked to Mark and I said, I might just give this away in my show. Because one of the things I want us to do is, if there's a project you're working on and somehow you lose interest, don't feel guilty. Don't beat yourself up. Pass it along to someone else who might enjoy it. And you know what? It's perfect because Susan does so much for all of us. So I will get this in the mail. I'll have to figure out how I can get to the post office, but I will get this in the mail sometime soon for Miss Susan. But I'm going to start doing that. My closets are full. I don't need to feel guilty that I work on something and it's not working out for me. So I'm going to pass this along to someone who might enjoy it. So it's coming to Miss Sue. So just remember, if I'm showing you stuff and I don't like it, I might say to any of you like it, speak up quickly. But that way it'll go to someone who likes it and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So there we go. All righty. But I like showing you things. I like showing you things that work, and I like showing you when something doesn't work. So, all righty. Good job, Miss Susan. So, hi, Cheryl. I was telling them about my sorry yarn, and here is a boho bead I made with it, and love it. So thank you. And I hope you saw the pineapple fabric I bought, but it's gorgeous. All right, I am feeling tired already. So how about I show you the last project I had for today, and then let's just sit and chat and catch up because I'm running out of steam already. So here we go. Let me bring the camera. Oh, good. Yep, thank goodness for Bonnie. Isn't Bonnie inspirational? We love our Bonnie. Gosh. All right. I saw this in a quilting arts magazine, and then I forgot to bring it down. So I'll have to, next week when we work on this further, I will bring it down and show you, because what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting started on this, and then next week I will do the actual dyeing. What this is, I saw this person and they said, thank you. And they said that, have you tried dish detergent resist? And, we all know that this is really good to wash quilts with. And so I got some of that and I put it in a little bowl. And then I have a little water if I need to rinse off anything. And then I went to and looked for paintbrushes that have certain shapes. If you see these dots, this was made by this round brush. And I just take some of the dish soap and I come in here and let me see. I want to zoom in just a little. Oops. And I take the dish soap, I dip the brush in it, and just make dots. Now, right here, there was a lot of soap. I'll go back and get some of that. And you just have to kind of find the balance between enough and not too much. But I'm making these dots. And what will end up happening is, this is a PFD, prepared for dyeing fabric. And then this one I used, let me see, which brush? I think I used this one. Put a little of the dish soap on that. And then I just go around and I use the shape of the brush to make it easy to make the resist shapes. Now, let's say you get some where you don't want it, then you carefully try to wash it out. Or you leave it and it just looks more rustic, because you know that batiks are pretty rustic. But what I'm doing is I'm trying several different kinds of patterns. And hi, Robin, so good to see you. So I am going to try different shapes, and I'm just painting the blue dish soap on the fabric, and you have to put it on thick enough. Don't make, that's why I say that you have to take time to find out what is the right amount to put on. If you put it on too thin, it's not going to resist. You don't want it to pool off and then spread into the surrounding fabric. But I'm using brushes. This is like a little brick stepping stone pattern. And I will let you know, I'm pretty sure it was an article in Quilting Arts, and I will let you know who the artist was that came up with this, because I didn't get it done before today's show, because this has to dry. And I'm going to let it dry probably 24 hours. And then when you put the dye, the first dye on it, I'm going to use those, what are the dyes called I use in the little tiny squeeze bottle? And I'm going to use those dyes to make it very simple and not messy. Whoops, I didn't realize I strayed off camera. But I'm going to use those little dyes. And so this, I'm making a kind of mosaic design. It kind of looks like mosaic, doesn't it? But you can make your own dotted fabric. Now, I'm going to take this thin little brush, and then I'm going to come in here and just do little dashes. Whoops, I got a little too much soap. If you get too much soap, just go back and grab it off. Okay. Here we go. I'm just doing the dashes, okay? Now, once I let this dry, then I'm going to put paint on different dyes. And I'm going to paint them on so I can kind of control where the dyes, what colors go where the dyes go. Then you let that dry. Then you come back and you wash the fabric to get off this resist, and then you can do a light over dyeing on that. So it's really pretty, and I will show you next week. I will show you some photos and the effect that this ends up making. But you see how I'm doing? You can do different, anything you want, you can do. So let me see. Let me see if, so, and by using different brushes, now I'm getting like a tier. Whoops, I'm totally off camera. Let me pull back. Boy, I tell you what, I'm away for a few weeks. I forget everything. But what I'm going to do here is I'm using a bigger flat brush, and I'm making like teardrops. And just make sure you have enough soap. It's like if you use the blue gel glue, school glue, you have to make sure to have enough on that it will resist. So it has to be able to sink into the bottom and sink all the way through the fabric, and then it will give a good resist. But you can do any shape you want. Anything that will put the soap on the fabric. But I thought I'll try different shapes. And then that way when I dye them, I have a bigger piece of fabric. I want to do it again. But this way I'll have like a sampler of shapes. And then I can decide which one to use on my next piece. It kind of reminds me, I've got a great photo to show you. Jody has been working on a Van Gogh. And oh my gosh, and it reminds me of that. And I love the motion and the shape. And then we'll see how it looks with all different kinds. So there it is. And so well, now I'll let this dry really good. And then let me move it back. I'll let this dry really good. When we're done here, I'll fill in the rest of this. So I have a really good sampler. Now I just accidentally spilled a little water on this corner. What I will do then is let that corner dry and then put those dots back on it. But you could do any kind of shapes you want, any kind of patterns you want. And in fact, you could even do like a, let me see. Because this is your fabric and you're just making, whatever design you want. And okay, I just thought of something. What if you did this? Whoops, let me get a thinner brush. What if you did circles? Whoops, let me get this light back on. Whoop, not that bright. A thin brush, you do circles. You could do a sponge brush and do big dots, but I want to see what comes out looking the cutest. So just let your imagination run with you. You could even do a paisley. And do dots in it and dots around it. So anyway, but this just gives you an idea of what kind of patterns, anything you can think of or find. And there you go. So next week I'll have this dyed and I'll show you on this one what I've decided to do and how I'm going to do the larger piece. All right. Well, I just realized we haven't done photos yet. So let me go turn off the lights. Takes me a little longer to get up now. Oh, and then I do have one more thing to show you. I want to make sure to show you what's in this bag. Talk about passing it forward. My Katie girl passes forward to me, and I'm so excited. So I'll leave it right here. So after photos, we'll look at it. All right. Bring this down. My son has said, Mom, there's a better way of showing pictures. But I'm sorry. I haven't been up to figuring it out yet. All right. So thanks for bearing with me in my dinosaur era. Whoops. No, I want to do this. No, I don't want to do Outlook. No. Oops. I closed the wrong thing. Hold on. All right, let's find photos. Whew, okay. Here we go. All right, Miss Alexis. I don't know if she ever figured out what this machine is, but her grandma, we're really sorry she lost her grandma. But her grandma left her the sewing machine, and the last time I heard, she hadn't been able to get the case to open. So, and then this is what Alexis excels at. And this is chromium, and this is one of her beautiful hand embroidery works. So we love that. So if you have gotten that machine case open, let us know. All right, now let me see. Oh, B. Hepworth, she sent me an email. You ladies have been so lovely. She sent me an email seeing how I was doing. And this is a card she made for her granddaughter. And she said, well, because of COVID, she's making the cards. And she said, it might be a little silly. I think it's lovely. And that is something her granddaughter is going to treasure forever. So way to go, Miss B. Love, love, love it. All right. Whoops. Let me go back to the... All right, Miss Bonnie. Let's see what we've got. I didn't know if I had shown y'all her Christmas in Jacksonville. Beautiful, beautiful thing she's working on. Look, let me see if I can enlarge this, because I love this block. That is so cool with the little vines and the little berries. Way to go, Miss Bonnie. So let's see what else we have. Yeah, that's the prettiest scene that I love. And she got these bookcases put up. I mean, look at this beautiful organization. Way to go, Miss Bonnie. All right. Then Britta Fireman. She is from Britta. She's from Germany, and she sent me... we both love Jenny Beyer. And this is Jenny Beyer's Flying Geese. And it's a kit that's made... I'm not sure if she made it this way, but Jenny Beyer designed this so that to showcase all of her basic fabrics, all of her blenders. So I think that is really beautiful. That is a lot of flying geese. That's devotion. So thank you, Britta. Okay. Now, I don't think I have that much to show you. I don't think I have really much in the way of new baby photos, but here is my son and Russell, and making cute faces, just chilling out together. And then I love this, where he's holding Donnie. And Donnie, believe it or not, is 2 months old now. Oh, I can't wait till this COVID's done so I can go see that baby. I need to hold him and meet him. All right. So, let me see. Was there anything else that... Yes, I did have something to show you. If you're not fond of snakes, turn away from the camera now. I was sitting in the living room where I spend some of my days, and Mark was at work at the dining room table near me, and I said, honey, there's a snake climbing a tree, a 6-foot black rat snake climbing the tree. And if any of you thought, how in the world can a snake climb the tree? That is how. And I wondered if he was trying to head to this bluebird house. Well, we realized what he was doing when Mark went out to spray him with the water hose. We don't mind if he's around, but I have some chipmunks I dearly love. So when Mark sprayed him with the water hose, he totally went into the birdhouse. So all 6 feet of him is coiled up in that birdhouse. And then eventually he came out and decided he better leave. So anyway, and I know, they eat vermin and that's all good, but I just don't want him eating my chipmunks. All right. Was there anything else? So, okay, snakes are done. If you're afraid of snakes, you can come back now. But I always like to warn people, because some people really have a visceral reaction to snakes. I used to hold snakes and stuff, but not anymore. I think I've finally said, enough of those. So let's see. We know that Miss Diana Wright repainted her son's bedroom, and now we know why, because he was getting ready to move out to his own place. Isn't it wonderful? And it's wonderful and sad when they grow up and move away, and you're going to miss them, but then you get their space. So what she did is she started taking down her long arm to move into the son's former bedroom. So now she has an actual living room without a long arm in it. Here are 4 wonderful placemats she made. Oops, I went too far. I'll go back. This is, she was working on a quilt for a customer and didn't have enough backing. So she used scraps from the front of the quilt to make the backing big enough. We've all had to do that before, haven't we? And I think these are the pillow shams she made to go with the king size quilt for the customer. These are some beautiful diamonds that she was working on recently. Here's her long arm taken apart. That's always a sad picture because, you know, you got to put it back together. She took a little break to do some Edita Sitar, who is several of my ladies' very favorite quilt designer. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, come on. Come on. All right. My hand is still a little wobbly. And so, and she does the pillow shams with a folded pocket back so you can slip the pillow in and take it out to wash. And here is, I think, more of that extra spacing she needed to make. And I just love her quilting. Here is a sewing chair that her husband bought her for her birthday. And this is some piping she's working on. There's her sewing chair again. You lift up the cushion and it has storage in it. How awesome. Here's 32 feet of piping she made. And there is a quilt she got done recently. But I love her quilting. Let me see if I can enlarge this. The quilting is just so gorgeous. If you want a quilt done, Miss Diana Wright is the one you want. She's near Paris, Texas. And if you can't find her, write an email to me at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com and I will forward your information to her. And there is the customer king size quilt that she finished. And I think she did it in only 3 weeks. And she also made this for her son's new place. Isn't that sweet? So, let me see. Okay, so now her living room is turning into a living room again. And the long arm is set back up in what was her son's bedroom. I think we got, here's a quilt of valor she's working on. And there she was in the middle of taking down that quilt frame. All right, so now let's see where we're going. Jody's, because I wanted to make sure that I showed you. This is a quilt that Jody did. I think it's beautiful. Boy, does that look like a good Civil War reproduction quilt. That beautiful. Miss Jody started designing, and I bet you know what artist photo or what artist painting she took her design from. Here gives you more of an idea. And look at this. Look at all those little pieces of fabric. Is that incredible? I'm just blown away by the things Jody does. She is an excellent art quilter, and I thought y'all had to see that. Way to go, Miss Jody. Way to go. So that's going to be fun to follow. I'm hoping we'll see Dora soon. The last thing I got from Dora was a photo of the sky right before Hurricane, was it Kathy or what, came through. So we're hoping Miss Dora is just absolutely fine. All right, here we go. I was talking to you about Linda Mccollum, and she's a wonderful landscape quilter. Look at this. I mean, you know exactly what that is, that's the moon reflected in the water. And look at the fabric she used. Polka dots and plaids and, oh my gosh. And yet it works perfectly. So now I told you about her ornaments that she makes. And it looks like she's got them on some kind of tray. But look at these cute things. This one looks like it's a fireworks. I mean, just all kinds of yo-yos, buttons, scraps of this, that, ribbon embroidery. I mean, hand embroidery. It is just amazing. And let me show you another one. So how cool is this that you can sit in the evening and make gifts for your children, your friends? Look at this. Look at the poinsettia right here. These are wonderful, and they look like they all came off of a crazy quilt. But isn't this great? So I think if we play our cards right, we can get Miss Linda to either make us a video or a tutorial on how she makes those, because they look like a great idea. Then I got this from Miss Marcia. So I think Miss Marcia's been sewing. That looks wonderful. Miss Marcia was one of the sweet people who made sure to keep up with me with emails. Miss Nadine, and I have a couple landscapes that she took, photos. She loves to take photos in the morning. It reminds her that a new day always dawns. And here's her Christmas quilt she's been working on. And look at this beautiful pillow she made for her sister's birthday. Just beautiful. Thank you, Miss Nadine. Now, who else? Patricia Fry's been busy. So here is a sewing room quilt she made. Love it, love it, love it. And she traveled up to help her son out. And there is their standard poodle and a quilt she made. Love pinwheels. They're so happy. You can't be sad when you look at a pinwheel quilt. And remember, she had to change rooms and reset up. And here is a birthday present she got. And the thread holder is a little bent, but I bet you her husband can figure out how to get that. She said it was packaged very well, but boy, that box had been beaten up. Don't we know it, ladies? Okay. But congratulations on your new baby. I hope you enjoy it. Now, Miss Polly, I've got some things to show you from Polly Thompson, but I'm going to have to find a tricky way to get around one of them. All right, this is something she had ordered. She's only been quilting for 3 years, and she's starting now to amass her stash. Look at this beautiful urban 9-patch quilt she made. Look at her curves. Now, let me see. She finished this. Let me see if I can show it to you. Oops. No, hold on. I don't want to make anybody sick. Let me find old Pooh. Let me see if I can find it. Go here. Oh, she has it on our website. And let me, hold on just a moment. Let me see if I can find where she sent it to me. Okay. Where's Polly's quilt? Whoops, no, let me try it up here. Okay, let's see. I think I've just about got it. Hold on there. Because I could not, the way she posted this, I could not save it. But I wanted to show you this. Isn't that amazing? Way to go, Miss Polly. That is beautiful. Good quilting, everything. Just lovely. I'm impressed. I would never have attempted something this difficult 3 years into quilting. So way to go, Miss Polly. All right. Now, let's go back to the photos. So way to go, Miss Polly. All right. Now, Robin sent me something really interesting. You know, you've seen me show before her fall table runner. Love that maple leaf table runner. Well, look at what she did. She did Collage Applique. Is that the coolest thing? There is so much fun you can have with fabric, and you don't have to follow anybody's rules. You just play. And that looks like so much fun. So way to go, Robin. And thank y'all for sending these photos in, whether it's to me personally or to the site, because we love seeing what you do. It gives us inspiration. And here is Cheryl Hogan's nephew's quilt. He's a drummer like my son, and he's going to treasure this t-shirt quilt. What a fabulous job she did with it, too. All right, let's see, who else do I have? And you know Miss Susan's been busy. I left two of her, the favorite things she has done that just lately that I love. These. So that is wonderful. Okay, so now I think we are done with today's photos. And hello. All right. So, okay. Let me get the camera back in the right place. Let me come back to y'all. And thank you for sticking. Oh, I'm not leaving. No, cancel. Okay. Yay. Yes. What is somebody doing for Christmas? I thought I had, but I will show you Michelle's block that she sent me in the mail. Totally forgot and left it upstairs. I told Mark, and this is my story and I'm sticking to it. But I told Mark that the anesthesia, because I was in surgery a long time. He said goodbye to me at 6 a.m. and he didn't see me again until 5 p.m. It was a long surgery. And it left me a little loopy, meaning I forget things easily. I lose words, but it's coming back. It's come back a lot. If you had talked to me in the first week or two, it's like, oh my goodness, but it's coming back. So I'm glad you got to see those things. I love showing your work. It's so exciting. And it gets me excited about what's my next project. And so I am tickled. So, but any questions that any of you have before I say goodbye for today? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't like feeling a little, flighty woozy, but what can you do? Oh, that's cute. You wanted the Titans to win. It does. It does take my brain a while to recover. I was thinking about it, and I don't remember waking up. I don't remember what happened. I know that they had a little trouble keeping my blood pressure up, so I was kind of like in and out, but I don't really remember. So I am back. I'll be back every Sunday now. Oh, and this is, Nikki was wondering, was it owl fabric? Where is the owl? There's several owls on here. And not only did my daughter give me the contents of this bag, she gave me the bag. I like this. It's one of those waterproof kind of Tyvek things, but it stands up very nicely. So my daughter, and speaking of this, my daughter has an online Etsy shop called Pearl and June, and she makes handmade body products, knitted and felted goods. So she uses her wonderful wool to make felted knitted artwork, and she uses goat's milk to make her soaps and all that. This was given to her, and it's called Summertime, designed by Erica Capro. And look at this. Is that just gorgeous or what? I have wanted to do a wool applique quilt, but all of you know wools are expensive. This was given to her by a knitting friend who thought she'd want to do it and then decided one day, you know what? I don't think I want to do it. And that's where I urge people, pass things along. If it's not working for you, somebody else will treasure it. Well, look at this. Look at this. Look at all of these subtle shadings and colors. Oh my goodness. Look at these. Aren't they beautiful? So this is a bucket list item for me. So when she said, I've got some wool and I didn't know if you wanted some, I'm like, oh yeah. Aren't these colors? They're so subtle. And when you look at the pattern, you realize why. Oh my goodness. So all I need to get now is the background. And is this just amazing? So thank you so much, my Katie. Now, I was going to ask you, ladies, would you ever attempt a wool applique? Because I'll be doing this with blanket stitch and stuff. In fact, you can see some people use different color flosses to do the blanket stitch to give it extra interest. Would you ever use a black cotton background and do the wool applique on it? Or do you feel like it would only work best to have a black wool background and then applique the wool on? Anybody have an answer to that question? But oh my gosh, look at these blocks. So, and this is the perfect wintertime project. Look, isn't this just the cutest thing? So I'm going to enjoy this very, very much. And thank you, Katie. I think it came from a knitter named Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Katie. It's found a very grateful home. So, she heard her daddy coming up. And I just wanted to show you this necklace is one of the ones I made. The first time I made it on wire. And as soon as I went to try it on, it popped loose and went everywhere. So I had to remake it. But it's nice that I did end up remaking it, and now I can enjoy it. So, wool on wool's easier to do. Okay. That's a great idea to look for an old coat because, hand-dyed wools and this fabric is totally wool. So, that's the real deal. It's not acrylic, it's wool. So anyway, thank you, Michelle, for so I really should, if you applique with wool try to applique it on cotton, the cotton will probably pucker and stuff. So, oh, there's my Cheryl. Yeah, I am a little pale. I told Mark, I've got to get some sun because I am still a little pale. But, oh, Cheryl, it's so good to see you, sweetie pie. And I'm trying to think if Cheryl sent me something too. If I have forgotten something that you did for me or sent to me, I will remember it eventually and thank you. So, oh, neat. Oh, I want to know what that's like. Now you've got to make me a video. It's so good seeing you all. Yeah, I think it's time to go up and get into my nightgown and crawl into a chair. But, I wouldn't trade anything for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Next week, we will take our experiment with Blue Dawn dish soap and see if it makes a good resist. And we'll use our dyes. And they're very thin little dye that we can easily work with. So I can't wait to see how that comes out. And I'll figure out something else along the way. But join me next Sunday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we get to play and enjoy each other all over again. So take good care. So good seeing you, Alexis. Susan, you're the best. I always say that, but you are the best. You take good care. Well, I wasn't going to let you see what I've been looking like lately. Because I tell you what, it's like, I even went back to my surgeon's visit with no makeup, barely brushed my hair. It's like, uh but take good care of yourselves. Do something special just for you. And can't wait to see you next week. Y'all are the best. And you give me the impetus to keep getting up and getting better each day so I could get back to you. Take good care, all of you ladies. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you next week.